Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to episode 61. I'm Andrea Stevens.
And I'm Jeannette Mejias, and we are Web's Women.
Where exposure brings strength. Good morning, girl. Wednesday morning, March 2nd. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. How are
What's going
you?
on? I'm good. I'm good this morning. Rocking and rolling.
Yeah,
Rocking
that's
and rolling.
great.
Yeah.
Well, the weather is starting to look favorable.
It
I
is.
think spring is right around the corner, so I'm really happy about that.
Me too. Me too. It's a nice sunny day here in New Jersey.
Yes, it is. So let's get to it, girl. I have a burning topic, and I think that it's very relatable for a lot of folks. So, I will admit I am a Real Housewife New Jersey viewer, follower. I am just roped and sucked into that show for as long as it's been running. And I watched an episode last night, and I have to tell you, it actually made me think about things in my life, right? And I think that's what's so great about some of these reality shows, because really, like, we can all understand, most of the things that they're faced with and that they air. And so in this episode, particularly was about, Teresa not sticking up for her brother. And one of the housewives called him a bitch boy. They were in a heated argument, and she was in a heated argument with Teresa's sister-in-law, Melissa Gorga, and turned around and referred her husband as bitch boy, and it just went on and on. But what I found very disturbing is that the sister witnessed that behavior, and she's all about loyalty. She's all about, you got to have my back. But yet she allowed a woman, a so-called friend of hers, to talk in a negative way about her brother, referenced. And she's also tweeted some very negative things about her brother, calling him a crook, all kinds of stuff. And I know people are listening in. They if they are up to date with the show, I'm sure I would love to know your thoughts, because I was like, she's so hypocritical. How can you allow anyone to speak badly about any family member, and much less her brother, her only sibling? And I just was like, where is the loyalty here, right? Because, it's kind of like loyalty only applies to her, in a sense where you do the loyal part to me, but she doesn't really reciprocate the same. And so in watching that, I think about just even in my own, you know, in my own family, and I'm not saying that anybody in my family is talking anything, but I am pretty sure that, one thing is that I've never been in that situation. However, I just think that it's disheartening to watch something like that, because then you start to think like, this is how relationships in families, or just regular, relationships amongst friends, really starts to deteriorate, because you have to really, draw the line in the sand. And what are the boundaries? You have to let people know you can't speak, whether it's a brother or a husband, you can't speak to that, person that way. Like, that's unacceptable. And I'm not going to, especially if you're witnessing that, you have to step in, and you have to kind of, situate that and straighten that person out. Otherwise, that's a behavior that's going to continue. Right. So what are your thoughts? What do you think about all that?
Well, I don't watch The Real Housewives, but I can speak on loyalty.
Shame on you.
I know. I know. It's too much fun.
I think you are
too much fucking drama for me.
Yeah, I know. It is a lot of drama. Yeah.
I will tell you that I don't care if it's family, friends, whoever it is, loyalty goes both ways. And just because you are a family member doesn't mean that I'm going to be loyal to you. Because if you're not loyal to me, I'm not loyal to you. And that's how the ball rolls. So I don't give a shit if it's a family member, a friend, an acquaintance. If you got my back, I know you got my back, then I have yours. That's where I stand. Now, as far as my brother, like I have one brother, and my father growing up, and these are some things that I talk about in my book, but like, my dad was like, you two, that's all you got is each other. And he said that growing up over and over and over and over and instilled that in us constantly. So no matter what my flaws are or his flaws are, we know who we are. We know why we fight. We know when we don't disagree and why at this point in our lives. But if something were to happen, if somebody messed with my brother, it's on. It is on like nobody's business.
And
I
that's where
know
I'm
he's there if
coming
something
from.
happens to me.
Right. And I
But
think that, yeah,
other family members, I can't say that I'm on board with that feeling. I'm not.
yeah. And I think that, it's just very sad because I know her brother's always, has, I mean, it's such a long story with that family, to be honest. It doesn't even, this episode can't even cover that bandwidth. But the whole point is that when you're starting fresh and you're starting new, no matter what your history is, you have to be about what you say. If you got my back, I got your back. Great. That's established. But now a situation, came in front of you, and that was really a test to see, is she about what she says she's about? And she allowed this woman to disparage her brother, not only on social media. I mean, this man is a successful entrepreneur, a businessman, and talking about he's a crook. I mean, I cannot, how can you break bread with a woman like that, talking shit about your family member, especially, all that they've been through. And I just was kind of like, that's sad because that's a reality in life. Like, folks nowadays don't even understand like loyalty, in my opinion, and respect. And I kind of just, it makes you reevaluate, things. And I was fired up watching that. I was like, I can't believe this. I would have lost my
I think,
shit.
You know what though? I think sometimes we think, like it's my, like it's my mom, right? It's my brother. It's my, it's my dad. I can say whatever I want about them because I love them no matter what. I can say what I want, but you can't.
That's right. That's right.
Sometimes there's a little bit of that in there, but I mean, even with my friends, like my girlfriends are like my sisters. They're the sisters I never had. So they call, I go running. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm having my personal stuff go on. They're there.
Yeah, and I know
they're there.
Yeah, and I love that you share that, because I feel the same. I feel like the small circle that I
you
have.
got to know, right?
Yeah,
you got to know who they. You got to know who they are, and you reciprocate accordingly, right? That's just how it goes.
Absolutely. And
if you truly have someone's back, they should feel it. They shouldn't just know it.
Yes,
they should feel
absolutely.
it.
Absolutely.
Because, I mean.
You got to be real. I mean, I think,
I've done some crazy stuff. Like, people have said stuff about my friends when I was younger. I've thrown a punch. Like, there's been stuff. Even my guy friends. I mean, even my guy friends. A guy said something, I punched a dude in the face.
Yeah.
I mean, like, this was years ago. This was just an instinct, and I was young. So now am I going to punch guys in the face?
Right.
Obviously. But like, I think back, and I think I just had this conversation last weekend, the weekend before, and it's like, when I was younger, like, I was triggered. You said something about my friends. You said, you messed with my people.
Yeah.
Like, it was on, and I would figure out what I'm going to do next.
Yeah.
Like, it was.
Yeah, you're plotting.
But now,
like,
right? Like, I was,
I
had a lot of, I'm not triggered like that anymore. I mean, unless it's my son, then that's a whole different story.
See, I was like, well, I wasn't physical in that sense, but I definitely, I mean, I'm a Leo, and Leos by heart and by nature are, I mean, when you want to break down zodiac signs, they're the most loyal. Like, bottom line, you got a Leo friend, that person is like
Well, that's
none
good to
other.
know. I mean, that's good. I mean, I knew this about you, but this is good to know.
I mean, this is just like facts, and that, not to say that other zodiac signs are not, but
hold on, I gotta tell
trait.
you. Wait a minute. The Libra is all about balance, and I haven't been in balance until
yeah. What's going on?
For 40 years, I was not in balance. Now I'm in balance, and in my 40s, I've been. But like, yeah, what does that have to do with
Yeah, and I find that even like if some of my friends, like, yes, when I was younger, I was a hothead and things triggered me, and I actually I would take things the wrong way, because I was not mature. That's just the bottom line. It was immaturity.
I still take things the wrong way.
Yeah. I don't know. I do too, but then I reflect on it. And the difference is when you're young, you ain't reflecting on anything. You're just like,
right,
that's how I am. Take it or leave it. You don't like it, bounce, right?
But with social media and with texting, and you can't understand, you don't really know the context behind the words that are being printed.
Yes.
So then you
sometimes there's
analyzing, right?
Yeah, but there's sometimes underlying messages. And if you're very,
or you create the story yourself in your own head.
And that could be too. That also can be the truth as well.
I've done that this week too. Yeah.
So I mean, for me, I think that what you see is what you get. And I know for me that and it's not, to me, if somebody can betray someone and treat someone that way, then that that's going to come your way too. So like, for example, if somebody that we both mutually know befriends you or does something shady, let's just say an example, what's to think that she wouldn't do that to me? What separates, that's just a behavior. That means that this person is going to do that with anybody. And I just think you have to be extremely selective in who you choose to keep in your circle, and who you choose to share, your life and your story. I mean, it's different when you're sharing your story in social media, because that's different. I find like people are going to share. You're only going to know what the person wants you to know in social media platforms. But if you really know that person personally, them like 30 levels deep under that preview or spotlight that they insert out there, which is fine. That's totally okay. But I just think that people are just funny. And I think nowadays, folks are just need to get back to the basics, and I think that to me, if you can't, sit there, I mean, for me, I'm watching that. I mean, you can't sit there and even just correct and say, wait a minute, back it up. Don't disrespect my family, period. I don't give a shit. If he did something to you, then that's it. Like, I can't be around that. And I just think that was just very sad to see that,
But some people are only loyal to themselves. And if you are,
that's right.
Like I always say, own your shit. You're loyal to yourself.
Yeah. They're all about themselves.
Right.
They don't think about anybody else but themselves.
Yeah.
And I also, on another, now that we're like talking about that, just like, it opens up to so many other things, where you have, folks that take.
Yeah.
And they don't give back. And nobody ever does something to get something back. Like, that's not my MO.
No.
But, when people have this expectation, like, why are you not doing this anymore? Well, not for nothing. How about, are you okay? I haven't, you know what I mean? Not make these assumptions. And I just think that folks are just very self-absorbed, especially with all, the current landscape that we're in. And
when people get mad at if you get mad at somebody, right?
Yeah.
I've seen people, like, if you're mad, you get mad at somebody, you're aggravated, and then all of a sudden it's like, I've done all this for you.
Oh yeah.
You
Like,
know what
what
I
is
mean?
that?
Like, nobody
Right.
asked you to do those things, and to expect something in return. Like, I don't know why. I
Why
don't
you,
know.
yeah,
I just, I just don't run it like that. You know what I mean? Like, for me, like, if I can give, I will do it. I will do whatever I can and expect nothing in return. Like,
right. And I
ever.
just
Like, I
think,
just, why would you even think
right.
you're
I
owed
mean,
something? Like,
yeah, like to
I
me,
don't
I
know.
think people who do that, they're just disingenuous. If you can come out of your face and have a disagreement with someone for whatever the case may be, and you can turn around and say, oh, but after I did ABC 1, 2, 3, it's like, why are you even
Yeah.
bringing that to the forefront? Like,
Yeah.
that
Well, at
was
that
on
point,
you. You know what I
right. That
mean?
point,
Now
you got to
that's
look
not
at yourself.
genuine.
Right.
Right. You're not
Yeah.
genuine about that.
Right. Now you got to look at yourself in the mirror and say, like, who the hell am I? Because why would I even, do you know what I mean? Why
Yeah.
would I even
I
process
mean,
this like
listen, I'm a giver. I've given a lot of myself, my heart, my soul to many relationships in the past, and
that? Hmm.
friendships, and friendships that never
Hmm.
materialize, that they're not even in my space right now.
Right.
Do
Right.
I sit there and say, oh man, after all, I used to be this and that? No, because you know what? That's the past. And I'm just the kind of person, it was what it was. We had our time. We separated because we require to separate, because I'm
Hmm.
not in that place. We're just outgrowing each other.
Right.
But I'm not going to make a list of all the things that I
Right.
did, because quite
Right.
frankly, I don't even remember half the things that I did in my past anyhow, good, bad, or indifferent. But
Yeah.
like, you just have to just, move along, you know, keep it moving, because there's no reason.
Keep it moving. Keep
That's
it
right.
moving.
Yeah, there's no reason for anybody to, I feel, allow
That's what
you
I'm doing.
to
Keeping
feel a
it
certain
moving.
way. Yeah, and you have
Keeping
to.
it moving.
You have to, right?
Keep it
So,
moving.
yeah. So I think, you know, we're into a new month now. We're in March,
Mm-hmm.
and I
Yeah.
think that it's a good opportunity, um, to just invite so many new things, right? I think that things are opening up again, people are getting more comfortable, and I think that
Mm-hmm.
this is just an opportunity to, if doors have closed on you, or you've experienced some shade and whatever with people, and
Mm-hmm.
examples of, someone not being loyal to you or talking shit or whatever, always look at that as a blessing, and it's a gift, and it's a
Mm-hmm.
way for God to show you, listen, I've been showing you who this person is. And sometimes people are not built that way. So
Right.
sometimes we expect so much of
Mm-hmm.
a certain individual or other people, but we have to understand, as human beings, that everybody's different. You're not going to get you out of people. And that's like been like a staple in my, you know, in my language.
Yeah.
I had to come to that understanding. What I would do doesn't mean, Susie's going to do that.
Right. Well, you create your
Susie,
own boundaries, right?
that's
Everybody has,
right.
your threshold. You create your own boundaries.
And some
You,
people don't like conflict either, and they look at it as, I don't even
right.
know how to address this. Some people are not into confronting. So
Yeah. But you
sometimes,
have to confront yourself. That's the
that's right.
key.
Yeah.
Confront yourself. What's going on with you, right? That should make you feel those things about people, about what, people expect from you what you give and what you dish out, right? They start expecting these things, right?
Yes.
Like, so you just gotta, where your boundaries are
Yeah.
and create them. If you
Yeah.
don't know, fix it and keep on moving.
Or just buy Andrea's book when it comes out.
There's,
There's
yeah,
some
there's a
good
lot of stuff. There's a
good
lot of
stuff
stuff that
in
we
there.
talk about here that does
Yeah.
pertain to, yeah. I try to hold back a little bit because the book's not out yet, right? It's not, it's
Well,
not,
it's
but
coming.
it's coming.
It's in
It's
the
coming.
process of,
Oh,
getting
it's coming.
released. So
My cover's cute, baby. It's cute.
really cute.
I'm excited.
I don't see cute. I thought it'd be
What do you think?
more,
It's a little more badass. It's a little
no,
more,
no, like
it's a little more,
dark,
it's
but
not
like cool
dark.
dark.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
well, that's exciting. I'm excited for you. Can't wait to, when your book does get released, we definitely want to lead folks
I will be
to,
giving you that date soon, very soon.
yes, lead folks to the goodness. So, well, this has been a joy. Thank you for hanging out with me on this lovely Wednesday morning.
Me too. Happy
Um,
hump day. Happy hump day,
yes,
folks.
remember, folks, stay true to yourself and, you know, be you. That never apologize for who you are, and you know,
Keep on keeping on.
that's right. Keep on keeping on. Remember, everyone, you're listening to Webb's Women.
Where exposure brings strength.